but we wanted to start with the story of where Teach with GPT came from. And this is really something that was sort of based in curiosity. I have been paying attention to the landscape of AI for quite a while and work in education technology. And, I've always had sort of bubbling around in the back of my mind, like, this would be very cool. We could do some very cool things with that. And then last November, ChatGPT burst onto the scene. And, it's not a brand new thing. It's an incremental improvement, but it's sort of the incremental improvement that turned the page from it being a niche academic thing to something that everybody knew about. And the direction that the conversation went immediately was sort of the least interesting direction. Most of the edtech discussions around GPT were around students posting essay prompts and plagiarizing and submitting them. And, I think that's a very natural concern to have. This is a new technology, things are changing, and it is very scary. But I also think that's like the least interesting part of the story. So started prototyping up a few, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we did this things? And took them to Kelsey and her team, and I was like, well, this is really cool. Now I'm off to go and do something else.
Yeah, so of course, I was going to put this in the chat. Craig is going to downplay his coolness at all times. But I remember, coming back on a Tuesday after we had Monday off for New Year's. So this is, January 3rd. And Craig demoing this really, really cool suite of tools that, of course, he just kind of turned off all distractions and built. And they weren't pretty at the time, right? We had a beautiful team. Shout out to Victor, who was able to style these tools so that they look just as magical as they perform. But my initial thought was, we need to make these tools accessible to every educator, every student. We need to make them free for as long as we possibly can. And we just need to get these out now, because what was happening is you had instructors reacting in this kind of climate, all spectrums. You had a lot of fear of, is the integrity of my assignment gone? Am I going to be able to teach students? And are they going to want to learn? Are they going to want to write? And then you had this other end of the spectrum, which was, I'm so excited to see what generative AI does for students and teachers and education and the world, and, extrapolate. So you have this really wide spectrum. And when I saw Teach with GPT for the first time, I just was so excited because it was addressing every single person on that spectrum. And it's providing a real, tangible way to use GPT in a classroom. And, this is just what Craig was able to build in a few days, and our team was able to get styled in a few weeks. And so I'm so excited to see where this tool is able to grow, how we're able to input more assignments, more features, etc.